right, so it's 2026, and that means another record store day. Now, record
Ah,
store day,
yes.
yes, as a vinyl collector, is a mixed bag of consumerism, but also some really cool releases coming out or
Yeah.
re-releases. And
Oh,
I'm in
yeah.
that bind. I got my list in front of me. I don't know if I'm going to go to any stores. There's no stores locally that do it around me, but I might be in a town tomorrow that does one. I might just swing by just to try to get if I can get any leftovers. Uh, and then for exclusive releases, here's my list, Bailey. And I don't want to surprise you with any of
Go
them.
go on. Let's see how
Um,
experimental we get.
the first one is the 13th floor elevators. We are not live. I love Rocky Erickson
Yeah.
and everything.
Oh, yeah.
The next one is Judas Priest live in LA.
Okay.
Shocking, shocking, shocking,
Wow.
right?
Daring, aren't
Daring.
we?
I have a
Yeah.
pretty good collection of Judas Priest live
Yeah.
bootlegs.
I
Like,
yeah,
yeah,
you do.
yeah,
I'm jealous.
yes, yes. And then I have the other ones. This is the big one that I doubt I'll be able to get for a decent price. Is Misfits Famous Monsters.
Good
Even the
luck.
last time that was reissued, like I put a pre-order on Amazon and got told no. Um, I
God.
yeah, and they're going for like the last pre-orders go for like $200, something like that. So I'm like, oh, I'm worried I'm not gonna be able to get one, but I'm also not hurting if I don't get one. Then
I mean, best of luck.
yeah, yeah.
You'll need it.
The next one is Richie Blackmore's Rainbow live from Cologne in 1976. So
Mm.
that's with Dio. So I
Oh,
gotta, yeah,
oh,
yeah. Fucking
that's
Rainbow live
cool.
albums are fucking sick, dude.
That's cool.
So I love Rainbow live stuff. And the last one, this is my highest pick. The one I have to get is the Sword three songs. These are like three of
Oh
their
my
demos.
God.
So I gotta
Yeah.
get the Sword. Yeah, if you're not familiar, I'm a big Sword fan. So those are my picks I'm getting for exclusives. But it's like weird to go through the list because it's like a lot of it's just kind of like cash ins and stuff, or
Yeah.
a lot
I
of picture
listen,
discs.
I'm hoping that I can get a cops because what is it? There's a Angel of Man. Have
Oh
you
yeah,
heard
I
of
saw that
this?
one. Yeah, I saw that
The
one.
cyberpunk one. I'm trying to grab that. I don't know how easy that is going to be to get, but it looks pretty cool. It's a pretty small run, very limited run.
Yeah, 750
Um,
copies. That is not a
yeah,
lot. I'm gonna try
I'm
to
gonna have a
get.
hard time.
Yeah, I'll try to get that. That's one I definitely want to try to get to.
Yeah,
But we'll see. Yeah, that's always kind of the trick of all this stuff too. Is like, you can go on Discogs and get it inevitably, but you might pay a bit for it, or you might wait. One
yeah.
like I waited out the one of the Fleetwood Mac. I think it was the Fleetwood Mac Live, something like that. And the day of it was like $80. I can get them for like 35 now. So it's like you can kind of wait it out if you're cool with it. But because a lot of people buy
God,
stuff just to sell, and it's like,
I
yeah,
it's probably going to be so much money. I mean, like,
it will in the
I'll
post market. Yeah,
yes, I'll give the list a look, see if there's anything cool that I can find.
I'll
But
keep it.
yeah, go
I'll
support some record stores. Tomorrow, well,
yes.
in the past when this comes out,
When the, yeah, at some point
maybe
you can.
support them. Support Record Store Day, April 16th, or sorry,
Yes.
April 18th,
Yeah, yeah,
2027, I guess.
yeah, yeah. All right. All right. So today though we are doing a swap. This is
We got a
where
weird one today.
we got two challenging records. We'll say
Yes.
we're for different reasons.
Yeah.
Where this is where Bailey gives me an album, I give Bailey an album, and we listen to them. It's usually an album we haven't listened to beforehand.
Yeah.
And try to like get our respective impressions of the album to each
Mhm.
other. Today on deck is I was assigned
You were assigned. Yeah.
Femtanyl's Chaser. This is a digital hardcore band that Bailey is very into.
I'm a big fan of them.
You've been going on about them for months to me, and I was like, all right,
Yes.
cool, I'll give it a listen, absolutely.
Yeah.
And what were you assigned?
Oh, so I was assigned, given, graced with anything really. I don't know. Given current 90s 93's Lucifer over London, the kind of mini album thing. It's
Yeah.
3 songs, but it's 30 minutes long. And it's this is an interesting one. We'll
I think
we'll
that's a
get
fair way to
into
put it.
it.
That's a fair way to put it. That's a fair way to put it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and kick over to our opening and then be right back.
my God, I know what you're gonna ask me. I know what you're gonna ask me.
What are you listening to?
So I yesterday, Cries of Agony,
Oh yeah, yeah.
we've talked
Mhm.
about them. They released their new single, I Am the Evil Wizards. Um, I heard Cries of Agony's kind of debut album. They're self-titled.
Yeah, I
I'm a
sent you a
big
link one
fan.
night, didn't I?
Yeah, you sent me a link one night of
I
like,
was like,
this
you'll
is some
like this
crazy
shit. You'll like
shit.
this shit.
You'll
Put this
like
on.
this. And I loved it. It's great. I love it. Their new single's awesome.
Yeah.
And the album cover's cute. I mean, Cries of Agony is awesome. They're such a weird little duo.
Yeah.
But I have like so much I don't know. I really appreciate their vibe, their style.
Hmm.
The dungeon synth with the kind of harsh vocals. It's a nice combo. But
Yeah,
they seem like yeah.
it's in that like old Nick vein that you saw with Grindstone, and then they're on Phantom Allure out of the UK, which is kind of the UK version of Grindstone. So
Yeah.
yeah, they do good stuff, and I'm looking for that release. I know the pre-order going up for not too long in the future, so I'm kind of looking forward to that one.
Fun fact, their most on Spotify, their number one city of like people listen to them is Kiev,
I guess yeah,
Ukraine. I know it's fascinaning.
yeah, I guess yeah.
Yeah.
That's where like kind of Keka Rock comes out of, and then
Yeah.
Murtavo. There's a lot of like the Ukrainian black belts are really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been listening to a lot of stuff, honestly. I think the one that I've kind of been like vibing on was the new Magic Sword release, Side
Oh, I
Quest, a
love Magic
B-sides
Sword.
adventure. Yeah, Magic Sword is really solid. The kind of like rock synthwave stuff. This was a really cool bunch of like kind of there's some B-sides on it, but it's also kind of like it's almost kind of an album. I'm not really sure how to phrase it. But I pre-ordered that and got that and listened to that and really, really enjoyed it. Just solid stuff. I don't have much more to say about it besides that. But
Hmm.
if you're not familiar with Magic Sword, please go check them out. They're a fun band. They're a really, really fun band. I think they have I think they're a band with a very wide appeal, and I think they appeal to a lot of different people for a whole host of reasons. So, but that is where we are at. Let's go into the assignment today.
Ah, yes.
I'm
Our assigned.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna have you go first because yeah, you don't want me to go
Yeah.
first.
Um, wow. So hey John.
That's up.
Hey John.
Yeah, it's up.
What the fuck? What the fuck? So we were just talking about this before we started recording, but if you are ever doing any hallucinogenic substances or
Yes.
substances that might lead you to a bad trip,
Mm.
don't listen to this. Don't listen to Current 93. This will send you into a really, really bad trip, I think.
Mm.
So, okay. Lucifer Over London is a sort of like mini album CD.
Yeah, it's from '94. It's only three
94.
tracks. I'm still not sure what the phrase mini album means.
I
Versus
It's a
EP.
small album.
It's a small album, but what is an EP then? Like it's
I don't know.
and that's what's interesting is you assign me an EP, which is of similar length and more tracks,
Yeah.
but it's like what is it's such a like a I don't know what the difference is. I genuinely don't know the difference.
I think the comparison is that Chaser is like was like 5 or 6 songs, and it's like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
This is 30 minutes and 3 songs.
Yes, yeah. So,
One of the final song is like half of the runtime of this mini album. So this is Current 93. This is an interesting kind of neo folk band that came about in kind of God, they started pretty. They've been
pretty
around
early.
for a long
Yeah.
time, like the '80s or something.
Yeah, they
Gone through a lot of members.
their first album their first like release is 80 our first album is 83.
Yeah,
And still releasing new stuff, which is, pretty impressive.
fascinating.
Fascinating
I like. I think David Tibet is a fascinating
He's a
human
fascinating
being.
individual. He's a fascinating individual, yes.
Weird dude, but
We'll go
interesting.
with that. We'll go with that.
Weird dude is a good way of putting it. But so this this mini album has three songs on it.
Hmm.
Lucifer Over London, Sad Go Round,
Great title.
and the seven seals are revealed at the end of time as seven bows: the blood bow, the piss bow, the pain bow, the famine bow, the death bow, the anger bow, the ho 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 bow. That's the
Amazing.
full name of the song.
Amazing name for a song.
Wild, wild. So I'll go over the different songs before I give my overall thoughts.
Hmm.
Or I guess so. The link that you sent me was really really interesting because there was no timestamps,
No.
there was no information, no description, no comments, nothing except for two words: industrial neofolk, and I was
Yeah.
like, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's a frankly bizarre way of
Well,
categorizing
and well, a lot
something.
of that is because you have early current 93 is very much industrial. It's a classic
Yeah,
industrial, like throbbing gristle style, because they
yeah,
spin out of that scene. But
yeah,
then it definitely goes into a whole inverse of the neo folk, which is like the antithesis essentially of this like highly noise, like constructed
yeah,
music, very basic. And that's actually one thing about David Tibet that's been really fascinating is as kind of a quote unquote neo folk icon, he's actually been doing a lot of advocacy over the last few years for a lot of traditional folk music out of England and the like in those areas.
mm,
He's like been like a lot of the old artists. He tries to get them exposure when people overlook them, which is kind of cool. Like
that's
he
pretty
goes,
cool.
yeah, he's a really he's a very fascinating person. I got to meet him
Yeah,
once, and he's just really interesting guy, and he's really nice, really sweetheart. Um, but yeah, tell me about your initial
yeah,
impression. Let's
okay,
start with
yeah.
Lucifer Over
So
London because this is like the song.
Lucifer over London.
It's a pretty good
It's
impression.
like it's a wild track. I mean, David Tibet's vocals are wailing and bizarre.
Well,
And the
they're gentle at points and
yeah,
wailing. Like it's a huge range.
and the immediate tonal whiplash of hearing the Paranoid riff, the
Yeah,
Black
it sounds
Sabbath
great,
riff.
huh?
I was like, wait, what?
What?
I had to double check what I was listening to because I was
Yes.
like, am I just playing like my shuffling my liked songs or whatever the fuck? No, it just starts with the riff from Paranoid.
Yeah.
Um,
And then it just evaporates into something
and
else
then it
entirely.
becomes something completely different, which I
It's a great piece of magical ledger to me. Like it's a sleight of
yeah,
hand. It's so
it,
good.
it's bizarre. But it's a haunting track. It's like spooky. The distorted bells are really cool. I
Yeah.
really like that. Um, and it kind of sets the tone for the rest of the album, which is like almost spoken word.
Yes.
And most of the lyrics on this are it's almost all spoken word, really, with a little bit of like intonation. But it's got some like kind of gentle-ish guitar in the background and like some really echoing kind of ethereal vocals. I liked it. It's a pretty cool song. Um, it's like seven, almost 8 minutes
Yeah.
long. Um, and it just kind of like ends with just like 666, and it's like okay,
It's 666 makes us sick.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's a big part of what this song is trying to express.
yeah, yeah. And it's just I don't know. It's a trippy song.
Yeah. I think what about lyrically? I'm curious. Like
Lyrically, I mean, for the most part, it just says Lucifer over London over and over and
that's the
over.
recant, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't really delve super into the lyrics because
Uh-huh.
it's kind of hard to find like the lyrics for
I
this.
just sent you a link.
Oh, you sent me a link with nothing.
Well,
You
I
sent
did
me
initially.
apart from the album cover.
I expect you to engage in like information seeking behavior.
I
I should also
mean,
mention I also have this, by the way, I have this album cover tattooed like on my arm. Um
oh,
yeah,
that's what that is. Oh my god.
yeah. I have it on top
Yeah.
of my left arm, yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, I know what the lyrics pretty much are, but like it's very much like it's all very conceptual.
Mm-hmm.
Um and I mean it's got like lines like Just reading a little bit, it's like look into him just a little longer, see the
That's like
true
a
face of
great
the
line, dude.
moon.
That's like
I
a great
know.
line, dude.
It's so good.
Yeah, and
Um,
it comes off in a really evil part. Like it's this
yeah,
like,
it's an evil
this
song.
evil descending and how like you need to not look away from it.
Yeah.
And kind of the thing. I think the opening lines of this song, the twisted wings and clouds unfold, the great gape of he who fell. Yeah, that
Oh
shit blew
yeah.
my mind. And it really pulls you in immediately.
It does. And it sets a tone, and that tone is like actually we'll get into this. But it's a good it's a really good song. It's a challenging song. And it's like God, it's so conceptual
Yeah.
and it's so ethereal and strange. And
Yeah,
I dig it.
that's most current 93.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of their whole vibe is
This is the vibe.
conceptual and fucking weird. Yeah. And
But yeah,
then we go to
well,
sorry,
but
go ahead.
once again, like yeah, the whole kind of bait and switch at the beginning and everything, and then the whole end of this song is the 666 that makes us sick. We're sick of 666. A lot of this was the earlier Kurt 93 stuff is very enticing into like kind of I don't want to say occultism because that's not what it is. It's more like there's a lot more kind of satanic elements to it to some degree, or
Mhm.
like whatever you want to call that, or kind of evil stuff. And this is very much like David Tibet saying goodbye to that,
Yeah.
wishing that well, and a kind of a send off,
Yeah.
and kind of expressing everything he wants to, because you end up, and you kind of have like a little bit of that on Thunder Perfect Mind, which is like kind of like the great work, if you would, the opus of Current 93, probably the most Current 93 of all Current 93 albums. But this one is kind of a goodbye to a lot of things, this song specifically. I think that's really interesting. That kind of like,
That is the vibe that it gave me, is that it's kind of like it's like the end of something but the beginning of another. Um like this is done, this is said and done. This is like leaving this behind, right?
yeah. All
Yeah.
right. Did you want to move on to Saga Round?
Yes, because that one I kind of got more,
Uh-huh.
to be fair. Uh I was less like taken aback by this, the like what the fuck.
Yeah.
um but I mean, it's clear that Sad Go Round is about like, hey, life sucks. Life sucks, and we're kind of burnt out by the world and everything that happens. um and you just kind of like go over and over in this kind of circular,
Yeah.
endless cycle of torment. Um,
Yep.
and then you have the like circus music,
Yeah.
of the like the carousels like song, the like the kind of wailing guitar. This is like this is not a happy song. This is a very very dreary, cynical, like nihilistic song,
Oh yeah.
and it's cathartic in a way, but like, man, the kind of like the circus sound effects and
Yeah. Yeah.
spin is wild. It's like it's a very, I mean, it's a very good touch. It's really it sets a tone really really well.
Yeah.
And this one I really understood. Like I really like was like, ah,
It's a
okay.
very simple song too. And
It's yeah,
versus
it's
like
not as
Lucifer Over
challenging.
London's very big.
Yeah,
This is a very like a whole inverse of that. But yeah,
yeah.
I definitely think yeah, this is a pretty these two songs are I don't want to say depressive, but they're definitely like
Oh, they're definitely
morose.
they're morose, melancholy. And it may seem like all of this, me talking about this, is all kind of a lead into that last song, because what in the hell? Holy shit.
Tell me,
Like
oh please. Explain to us the seven seals to reveal the end of time is seven bows.
uh I I listened to this like 3 times
Okay.
back to back, and it set me into a really weird mindset.
Mm-hmm.
It is haunting,
Yes.
actually. It's just like the most high concept, like bizarre, apocalyptic, and like I'm just like looking at the lyrics now and it's just
Your
crazy.
choice of words are apocalyptic because at one point they describe themselves as apocalyptic folk,
Yes.
and not as folk music, but as apocalyptic folks, apocalyptic people geared towards it.
Yes.
And
Yes.
there's a lot of themes of apocalypse and a lot of what David Tibet does on this album and Feeler albums is very much these meditations that are fundamentally Christian mysticism,
Yeah.
which is really
It's
interesting.
so it's like it's very much like apocalyptic mysticism, like Christianity and kind of the end of
Yeah,
days.
but it's
And for
interesting. But it's actually
it
like it's actually interesting
it
like to
tells a
listen to.
story.
It tells a
Yeah.
story.
And
Uh,
for frame of reference, this song is 17 minutes long. Is it 17 minutes long?
yeah, something like that. Yeah,
It's like 15 minutes. It's oh my god. It's like 15 minutes long. It's like half the runtime of this mini album.
yeah. It's like a whole,
Um
the vinyl record. It's like just one side.
it's just one side. Yeah. It's like it's just it's gory, it's
It is gory.
graphic, it's uncomfortable, it's off-putting, and like a high-pitched singing emerges, bones gleaming teethy white, some shit dust brown start to clatter from the
Yeah,
pain bow. Like it's just so weird.
it is a journey.
It is a journey. It is a sonic
It
journey,
is.
and one that I and one that I don't want to be on. I don't. I listen. I This is not something that I would really seek out and listen to.
Mhm.
But the parts, like there are parts of this song that I would love to listen to if it wasn't in the form of like 15-minute long
Yeah,
song. When the guitar and instrumentals pick up,
yeah.
it's like
It's moving.
it's moving.
Yeah. No, and
It's really pretty.
it is a really pretty. It's a really, even if you just look at the lyrics as like a poem, it's like really
Yeah.
fascinating to delve into.
Yeah, I guess a good way to describe this song is a really long poem that is spoken over a really kind of low key instrumental that kind of builds and builds and builds and then really picks up near the end and it's like whoa, oh my god.
Yeah, I like all the interesting kind of like inner. One thing that's really interesting lyrically of the song too is that how much you have this kind of these bows which are like these different like kind of apocalyptic things, or even bodily fluids or parts of the body or whatever it is.
It's like it's
And
body horror. There's
it's
just body
yeah,
horror all
but like
over the
how
song.
the bows are kind of arcs, and some of them are like smiles that turn into things. Some of them are
Yeah.
like urine streams. Like
Yeah.
it's like it's kind of interesting how he plays with that shape so much
Yeah.
lyrically, and like
Yeah.
that's like not easy to do,
No, it's
especially for 17 minutes.
if for so long.
Yeah,
Um yeah, and then it comes back again. It does say like 666 makes me sick again in the song.
yeah,
Um and it's just
and there's
I
some
it,
yeah, there's some interesting stuff in here.
there's so much truly like actively uncomfortable and terrifying imagery in this.
Yeah,
And I think that's what it does best is it really
Mhm.
conjures an image of this kind of it conjures a terrifying image.
Mhm. Oh, it's like
It's
cosmic and like
it's like a cosmic apocalyptic ballad.
yeah.
Like
It's
it's
also another thing is it's unclear if this is like the story of the end times or of the beginning times.
of like the start. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you don't know where it is in like in the cosmology, or is it just eternal,
yeah,
like always happening? Like it's such a weird
yeah.
thing. Yeah,
Did and it's the vocals are David Michael.
yeah.
Um
He goes by he goes. David Bunting, and he goes by David Michael, but he's kind of gone back to David Tibet in terms of professional stuff. So he's gone between
Yeah,
the names a little bit. And Tibet was a name given to him by Janice Peorage.
yeah.
And
So like, yeah, the the I found a different like discography, not a discography, but a different like track listing,
uh,
and it sometimes it switches from David Tibet to David Michael, and then to David Michael Tibet, and this
yeah,
one is distinctly David Michael.
yes.
Um, so I just like to think he's putting on different hats for
Oh,
different
I agree.
songs.
Yeah, he does. He really does actually at times.
Yeah,
Um,
and
and he,
his voice is haunting.
no one sounds like him.
No
That's
one
the thing about
sounds like
David.
him,
Yeah, no one sounds like him.
and
Uh,
it's 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 a trip. It's really trippy. It's
yeah,
really weird and freaky, and has like a strange beauty to it.
yeah,
I mean, I loved fucking Seven Seals.
yeah.
So
It's an interesting
really, it's
track.
good. It's really good. I like. Oh man, I'm just like stumbling over my words because there's really no real way to
I
describe
think part of
this.
this song for me and the appeal of this one, this song specifically, is the imagery of it is very much like how I think it's a very effective way to convey a cosmology,
Yeah,
and it really paints this cosmological picture that Tibet seems to have and
yeah,
wants to share, and he does share it, and but he never really explains it. Like it's not explicit. It's more of just like these are the visions, and you take it as vision, but not as like it's unclear to take it as you take it as his truth, but you don't take it as truth.
yeah,
And but it's super interesting just like to try to like I think doing a very sympathetic listen to this with the lyrics is like a wild thing to do.
yeah.
But yeah, it can like really lead you on like some kind of interesting places meditative. But it's a meditation. That's I mean that's
It's a meditation that brings you to a very terrifying place. And I think overall, kind of talking about this, um, usually I don't interact with neofolk a lot because
mhm.
of some of the more prominent
Sure,
figures
sure.
in that scene. But I do appreciate more modern David Tibet and like later current 93.
Oh yeah.
Um, and I mean, this is kind of like you said, this was like 94.
94.
Um,
Yeah. So this comes a few years, this comes a 2 years after Thunder Perfect Mind.
mhm,
But then like this is kind of when he's on an upswing where he does like all the Pretty Little Horses, which has like Nick Cave on it.
yeah,
He does later on does Soft Black Stars, which is very interesting. Sleep Has His House,
yeah,
which are two of my favorite albums actually. Soft Black Stars is absolutely riveting.
yeah,
And but then he gets more experimental for a while, and he's kind of come back to this with The Light Is Leaving Us All in recent years, along with this a city if a city is set upon a hill in most recent years, which are much more conceptual too. But yeah, there's this kind of like sense of goodbye from this album, or kind of trying to move on, or which is really interesting to think about. Um, but yeah, I would really, I can't say enough good things about this and what he kind of pulls off with it.
and I liked it. Thank you for giving this to me. I say I liked it. I enjoyed the experience. No, I did like it, but
It's
holy
an
shit,
experience. It's an
it's an
experience.
experience and it's
Yeah.
scary. It's
And
like deeply cosmically scary.
it is something you have to have a sympathetic listen for. You have to take a
Yes.
second and you have to sit down and listen to it and really be able. It's not background
Mm.
music. It is something you have to sit down and
Yeah.
let. And I think that's true of a lot of current 93. Is to really
It's
sit down
it
with
is a
it.
challenging listen, but
Yeah.
I think it's worthy of that attention. Um, it's worthy of that attention, and like your it's worthy of your attention span if you can put 27 minutes into three songs. Um, but yeah, I holy shit.
Okay. Okay.
That's what that
Okay.
my review is. Holy shit.
Okay. I'll say follow up. The one album I'd follow up with if you want to listen to an album that's like very easy to listen to is Soft Black Stars. It
Soft Black
sounds how it
Stars.
sounds. It sounds exactly how it sounds. It is a
Okay.
very piano. It's all piano driven, like
Oh
all
wow.
piano. It's really really beautiful album.
Okay.
Highly recommend it. All right. You want me to talk about
Yeah.
Femtanyl?
Total
About Young
tone
Boys?
shift.
Okay.
But I feel there's a lot of experimentation going on in both of these albums. Um, so Chaser
Mhm.
from Femtanyl is
This is like their first big EP, isn't
this
it?
this was their first big EP. I know that I think this was yeah. So this is in 2023, so pretty recent.
Huh.
This was when it was just one person.
Mhm.
It has since become two people, and with a third for like live support, like a
Mhm.
supporting artist, like while they're touring.
Mhm.
Um,
God damn, copies of this vinyl copies go for $600.
they are expensive. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Awesome.
I tried to get the cassette version of it, but those are like so hard to come
Yeah.
by. I have a CD version of it, but I
Mhm.
want the cassette because I found my old boombox that I like fixed up a couple of years ago, and
Oh
I want
yeah.
to throw it on that. It would be sick. But yeah,
Um.
so yeah, so this was the first kind of big EP after like a series of singles,
Yeah.
and it's really experimental, and it's not the most approachable, I will say, when it comes to Fentanyl's
Um.
discography.
So I'm going to disagree with you and say that it is not experimental and very approachable.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Because I have heard this album a dozen times.
From
When I
who? I'm curious.
Alec Empire.
Alec Empire?
Yeah, like the guy that created the term digital hardcore,
Oh shit.
who I'm a big fan of
Really?
From Atari Teenage Riot. Yeah.
Oh
Um,
yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
so he has like an album. He has an album called The Destroyer,
God,
which
I
doesn't
just but
sound
I didn't
dissimilar to
recognize
this.
the name. The fuck?
There's a it reminds me a bit of his other album, Generation Star Wars, which is like a
Oh
great.
yeah, I know that one.
So those are like kind of these cornerstones of like digital hardcore, which is what Atari Teenage Riot was their label. I think that's what their label was called. Um,
Yeah.
and so when I listen to this, I hear the breakcore on it. I hear the break beats on it, just
Hmm.
spun up and focused into it. So I've heard albums like this a lot. And I was listening to a lot of this kind of stuff back when I was like in grad school.
Yeah.
I used to listen to a lot when I drove. It was great
Yeah.
driving music. Keep and it kind of has that vibe of like um like race game music and shit, um
Yeah.
and the pacing is really good. What I will say is experimental about this one is that not as experimental, but there's a lot of samples in it that are kind of interesting. Like they kind of
Yes,
like
there's a lot of
they
weird
do a lot of trip
samples.
up stuff here.
Yeah.
So like it kind of like pulls in that kind of those kind of elements, and it does like some kind of like trippy up parts. But like I see a lot of it as essentially derived from those kind of initial sounds. And so when I listened to it, I was like, yeah, I at one point owned like 20 CDs that were like this. And it's not to say that like this isn't a good showing for it, because it does hold up to some of the stuff I really, really loved when I was listening to that stuff, by all means. But um, you know, it this is a little bit heavier, I would say. It's
It's
more
heavy.
it's heavier at points. It's meant for more like really heavy beat stuff, where like Empire stuff was more meant for like was more geared towards like
I feel like that's more
yeah,
industrial.
what his stuff?
Yeah. A little bit more,
No,
right?
no, not I wouldn't say like the Destroyer is but like it's not as like focused on like the just like it's not as focused on like the weirdness. Um
Yes, this is weird. This is very weird.
yeah, that's kind of where this kind of shifts up for me. Um and so yeah, like I said, if you go back and like listen to Destroyer, it doesn't sound it's much more like a call to arms, if you will, as an album.
Yeah.
Where this one comes off more of like we've accepted this, and like it's trying to pull in, like they have like here like listed as horrorcore and a bunch of other stuff. Um, I'm looking at like the Discogs, the Bandcamp page, excuse me, um, where it's listed as that way, which is interesting because like horrorcore for me has been more stuff like Gravedigger, like the horror rap stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
um but I accept this as it. I'm not so inclined. I will say that this is an album where when I put it on, I can see picking out tracks, but like I put it on just kind of like to listen to, and
Yeah.
everything when I used to listen to type of music, I would just put it on and just like walk away. I didn't. I could like have other stuff on and the tracks blend into each other. I kind of have some parts that would stick out to me. This one though, versus what I remember listening to, tracks did stick out to me
Oh
because
yeah,
of the
there's some
samples,
different sounds, different
because of the
samples.
intros. I think it was like Push Your Temper was really interesting
That,
in terms of like
yeah,
the instrumentation.
that one goes hard.
They do, yeah. One thing they do is they actually do a lot of kind of trickery thing in the beginning of those tracks, to, like get your attention,
Yeah.
and then try to invite you in. Um, and yeah, I can see like liking this a lot. But like, yeah, it reminds me a lot of the digital hardcore stuff in the 90s, but it's
Oh
just
yeah.
more, but it's less vocally focused. It's more and like more energy like driven and is just over the top. I don't have a lot to say about it.
You don't
Um,
you
I don't
okay.
because like I didn't it didn't do anything new for me.
Hmm.
It was just kind of a new. It definitely certainly gave me like a nostalgia vibe from back when I listened to this kind of stuff a lot, and
Oh,
I thought it
I
was.
mean, it's just so full of like kind of got those rave
Oh
stabs
yeah.
and like a lot of just like there's so many homages to like 80, not 80s, like more like kind of 90s, early
Mm-hmm.
2Ks, like rave vibes. And yeah, I mean, there's also a
Yeah,
healthy dose of like Machine Girl inspiration in it. If you
yeah.
know
It's really
Machine Girl.
it's got a lot of deep bass on it. It's got a lot more deeper
Hmm.
bass. Like the drums on it aren't quite as short or as like brief
Yeah,
as they are like say like I was just like Alec Empire's Destroyer have very brief drum points on this really
yeah,
embraces the bass on it.
yeah,
um which is a very like contemporary thing of music where a lot of music is very much embracing that everyone seems to have like a system like a subwoofer on everything now, and they seem to acknowledge it. Like that's actually like we just got done talking about the Dead Sea album, but like the
yeah,
remaster, my problem with it is that it's remastered for someone with a subwoofer, so the drums
yes,
don't hit quite how I would like them to unless I had a subwoofer.
yeah.
So I have some issues with that, but like that kind of obsession. But like I get it. Um, but no, I thought this was I thought this was like well done. Like I think
Yeah.
in the digital hardcore one, this is up there in terms of quality. It's up there in terms of like doing what it needs to do, what it wants to do. The album cover is great because it definitely shows off like what they're going for, which is kind of horror slash
Oh
like
yeah.
fun, tongue in cheek,
Hmm.
cutesy, dangerous stuff. Um, where the stuff I was listening to, like I said, I was really to Alec Empire at one point,
Yeah.
was much more geared towards a much more political kind of statement of
Yeah.
like trying to be after stuff. But of course, this is a guy who was raised during the fall of the Berlin Wall. So like we
Yeah.
can see him calling himself a destroyer very quickly.
Yeah.
And why that comes about. So like
Yeah.
and you're talking about a generation difference too. I mean,
It's a very
it's
big generational
yeah.
difference. Whereas this is less political, and I could get into it, but there are certain themes of it that are political,
Oh, absolutely.
because existence itself is political, and
Of course.
but this is a lot more. When you look at the lyrics, it's angry. It's
Yeah.
like it's clearly about a lot of abusive shit, and
Mm-hmm.
it's
Mm-hmm.
really an incredibly like cathartic and sort of I'm going to scream over these crazy samples with 1 million rave stabs. And yeah, and it's just like yeah, it's like digital hardcore catharsis about less the world and more of like a personal thing. And I think that's why it resonates so much with me because it's
Mm-hmm.
so personal
I
and
can see
so
that.
emotional, and it's kind of like it's not a romanticization. It's kind of like it, it's an interesting way of portraying kind of like self-destructive tendencies
Mm.
and abusive situations.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think that it comes like a triumph, right? Because
Okay.
it's like I mean, hear it. It's upbeat. It's like punchy. Like this is dance. You can dance to this. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
like I did
yeah.
like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, yeah.
They put on a hell of a show, by the way. Holy
Oh, I
shit!
bet. I don't
Oh my
doubt it.
god.
Yeah. No,
Well, that was the first time I ever crowd surfed.
oh, really?
Yeah, I'd
Oh,
never
that's
done it
cool.
before.
What'd you think?
I was crazy. I was jumping. I was like jumping up and down, and some guy next to me gave me this look of just like, "Oh, you." And so I jumped up again, and he kind of picked me up, and I got like pushed up onto the top, onto the crowd, and got dumped onto the stage. So it was a whole thing. It was fun.
That's funny. Mm-hmm. That's cool.
So I love Femtanyl. We know this. Those girls are real.
No, I
really
I
cool.
can 100% get it. I 100% get it. Like I really get the appeal of this. I get like why this stuff's like fun. I get the nostalgia that it does constantly. And Atari Teenage Riot did this by all means. They did this beforehand, but I view this as more of kind of like compared to that stuff. It's very good. Like I would call it, like in terms of that genre, it's like very very good for this genre. Mm-hmm. But I think it's more taking on more prevalent zeitgeist, if you will, spirit of times type situations.
It's very timely.
Very timely in that regard. Versus which Alec Empire was very time of his time as well. Like literally has an album called Generation Star Wars, which is about people. I mean, like, which is fucking great. I don't know how the hell he got away with putting the like the X-wings on the cover of that album.
That's
like,
I still don't. That's crazy.
Fucking, that's like that. Okay, I'll give you that one. That's pretty hardcore, buddy.
Yeah.
Like it's not like an illustration. It's a photo of an X-wing toy, like or like a photo of an X-wing model for that. But anyways, but no, it was I'm glad I listened to it. I'm glad you
did too.
I'm glad I gave it a listen. I did. I was, okay, I've heard this kind of stuff before. This is fun.
Yeah.
I'm into it. I know how to listen to this. So it wasn't challenging for me to listen to because I have listened to this style before and extensively.
If this is about a year, your first introduction into this kind of genre, it's more challenging.
I remember when I was listening to that stuff, I had people bitch to me about it. I had like a lot of old heads were bitching to me about it. They were like, "How can you listen to this trash?" And I was like, "It's interesting. Like, it's fun. It's I kind of get it." You have to, once again, much like the current 93 album, you have to like be sympathetic when you listen to it. At least the first time, where you can kind of get into it. And I think that's true of a lot of stuff. I'll always give something a sympathetic listen.
Yeah.
But so it wasn't. That's why I say it wasn't challenging because I've
because this genre.
I've occupied the space before. And very much. And so but I'm glad I like their vibe. I like the kind of like
they're awesome. They're really cool.
Yeah, to me it just feels like a more kind of updated of what I got from Atari Teenage Riot decades ago, but like but more a little more lo-fi, I would say.
There's definitely some lo-fi parts to it.
The lyrics in this one were very lo-fi. I
love the lyrical style. The lyrical style is so iconic and fun. And I think one of my favorite parts of like engaging with the Femtanyl discography is because sometimes you can pick out what's being said. Oftentimes you can't really. And one of my favorite things when I first kind of discovered this EP was I listened to it once over and I was like, this fucking rocks. And then I listened to it again, but reading the lyrics. And then that made me like it even more because the lyrics are like, they're kind of rough. They're in a good way.
I did not look into the lyrics for this.
I mean, a lot of these things are really relatable. Maybe more to me than to you. But
give me a second. There you go. All right. Don't judge me yet. You don't see me. Tell me what I think. All right. So I'm looking at Act Right. Okay. We gotta build open like recant. Let's see here. I mean, it's got this like kind of outlaw styles here. It's trying to like say I outrun everybody. I'm not. It's very. I'll say ADHD oriented lyrically, and it's also about like trying to get the next thing. So that's kind of cool. Pet. Let's see what this one here. This person is just like, that they got like a whole thing about being, basically contained and everything, being like abused and everything like that too, and just kind of like being dehumanized. I can see that. I've seen songs like this before.
Yeah, there's not a lot of metaphor, but
no,
it's I don't think it's supposed I don't think they're supposed to be metaphor. I think it's supposed to be like in your face and
Yes.
angry and kind of like fuck this nuance. I'm done with that. Um, yeah, there's a the opening line to I think it's probably one of their most known songs, Girl Hell 1999. I love that track. But when I first like heard like the opening lines, which is
Yeah,
I
I
love
love.
lying to myself, but I
Yeah,
like everyone I meet. It's a funny little cycle. I do it while I fall asleep. It's like, yeah,
yeah, yeah. I can see where this is
yeah,
going here too. Yeah, this is yeah. It's very like small scale political, like intimately political, like
hmm
interpersonal political,
yeah,
versus like being critical of like censorship or like governments
hmm
like that. So I think it's really interesting. Yeah.
yeah,
And I can see this kind of trying to break out to some degree. And I get what it is, and I like I said, for the form, I think it's really really strong. I can see why people are into this right now,
oh
but
yeah.
like I also recommend everybody go back and look at the stuff that kind of comes before this, and you'll find a
Oh,
lot of good stuff on
totally, totally.
it. Yeah,
If you listen to this, you will like kind of 90s, 2000s kind of
yeah,
digital hardcore.
yeah,
It's a kind of a love letter to that. At least in my
yeah,
opinion, right? Like it's just
yeah. That
it's great. And
no,
so
I
it's a
love.
love letter to a lot of great things.
Yeah, I think it's a love letter. I also think it's like a little bit personal in some regards to what I really dig. So
It's very personal, and I think that's why I love it so much, really.
yeah, I can see that. But yeah, that's just kind of my take on it when I listened to it was yeah, sorry to disappoint you.
What do you mean disappoint me? Oh, that you
Disappoint you.
didn't hate it?
I didn't hate it. No, actually I didn't hate it actually. I was
Oh
like,
no,
okay,
no, but usually what I give you, you're just like, what the fuck,
no,
Bailey? What
I'll
did you
hate on
give me?
like yeah, if I don't think it's like I don't know. I got some stuff to hate on, but this is not one to hate on, so
Wow.
I
Oh,
don't
we
think I would
did
listen
it.
to it again. Like I don't think I would like actually put it on. But if someone put it on, I wouldn't bitch and moan about it too much because I know,
Totally.
it's totally cool for me.
Next time, you'll have to listen to this and then their newest album, Man Bites Dog, which is one of my favorite albums of God, this year, last year
Uh-huh.
that it came out. No, it had to have been this year. Yeah, it was this year. Uh, very different,
Yeah.
super different, so different that a lot of people didn't like it because it wasn't like their older stuff,
Hmm.
and so it's like, yeah, I mean, I love the album,
Oh yeah.
and it's got like vestiges of the old mixed with a lot of the new, and yeah,
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah,
My concern with music like this though is, and this is not like a critique of Femtanyl, this is a critique of like just like broad like music listeners, which is God knows what now. But people are gonna listen to this and be like, nothing else sounds like this. This is original. And I'm gonna be like, dude, there's like a whole genre, there's a whole like back catalog of people doing this stuff for decades. And you should delve into that and check that out too. So that like you can kind of maybe you might find some nuances you like or see other
yeah.
branches
Go
you can get
discover more
into.
stuff.
Yeah, highly recommend.
There's more like this than you think.
There's a lot more. Yeah, there's a lot more of it than you think, and I find that people get very much into that like the algorithmic bubble,
Mhm.
and don't branch out enough. And so this is yeah, but this is cool. I'm glad it was on.
Yeah.
I really wasn't sure what to expect when I was going into it.
Yeah.
I think uh that I was I don't know what I was expecting. I think I was expecting kind of like this to some degree. A little. I think I was expecting to be more less structured,
Yeah.
and I found this very structured for me. Like when I listened to it, I could see the structure very quickly.
Yeah.
Even with like the change ups and everything. Part of that's actually one thing these two have in common is that like there's a change up at the beginning of the track where it's kind of trying to like Lucifer London has a very big change up all of a sudden.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah.
probably one of the biggest, honestly, a very troll like move in a fucking song. Hey, it's paranoid. It's like no, it's not, and like
No, it's not.
no, it's
It's
not. It's
absolutely
not
not.
paranoid. And then, but this is like you get some stuff where it's like there's not. They're giving you a pace. You feel like it's going to be kind of discordant, but then it's not. It's very much just like this breakbeat thing to listen to,
Yeah.
um, and digital hardcore stuff. So that's fun. I had a lot of fun with it.
That's awesome.
Um,
I'm
yeah,
very
so
happy to hear that.
that is my impression of fentanyl. And
Cool.
like so, that was a swap.
Oh yeah, that was a swap. Look at
That was a
that.
swap. That was a swap. Yeah, I'll go give a listen to their new album because you said there's two people in it now, so I'm curious what that sounds
Mhm.
like. And
Yeah.
then I would really recommend if like Soft Black Stars by Current 93 is really interesting.
I'll check it out too.
It is like one of the most gentle things you'll ever listen to. Like
Wow.
it is just absolutely gentle. I don't
Okay.
know, like it's hard to describe it. Like it's like it's soft. It's a very soft album. All piano and David Tibet singing. That's it. Um,
I mean, I like
but
his voice, so
yeah, there's his voice is very divisive. People either
really
love it. Oh yeah, there's people that fucking hate him. That can't stand him. And
like
I've seen it before.
his vocal
Yes,
style.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Because of he has his way of speaking. Some people think it comes off as pretentious. And I don't think that's it so much as that because I've heard him talk, and he talks like that.
Interesting.
And a lot of that I think is so he's British, but he grew up in Malaysia.
Yeah,
So
I was seeing that when I
yeah,
was
and
looking up his
so
stuff.
and from my understanding, he got a lot of exposure to stuff over there, and I could see that being creating an interesting vocal pattern in someone,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. So like, I think that's kind of what happens here. But that said, though, like, I mean, no one sounds like him.
Nobody
And
sounds like
so,
him.
and I don't know how you would sound like him without trying to mimic him. And so
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
a really interesting kind of that's one thing I like about we talk about this with Sereth Ungol. No one sounds like Tim Baker, like
Yes.
without trying to imitate him.
Yeah.
And it's like that's kind of cool. Like this is your sound, and I know who you are, and I can identify you immediately just by you talking. Um, but yeah, no, I met Tibet down in at CSU Long Beach.
Whoa.
He had an art installation there. He did his first ever like art gallery exhibit of his actual like paintings and everything, and he did a soundtrack for it. And I went to go hear him speak and see the exhibit and see his work.
Dang.
And got to meet him. Yeah, it's really cool. It's his
That's cool.
first time ever doing. He's always been doing art for the covers and everything for decades, but
Wow.
he had never like done a show. And these guys in at CSU Long Beach brought him in. I think it was Long. I think it was CSU Long Beach. Brought him in to do a show, and it was really cool. It was like a whole immersive spirit, top like floor to ceiling of his art. The light is leading us all, and it was really fascinating to see and just kind of see his vision and talk to him. And I did show him my tattoo.
That's awesome.
I think he said something to the effect. I was like, "Yeah, I got the cover of Lucifer of London on tattoo." And he's like, "Oh," and I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, there he is." And like,
That's really funny.
it's like something like that.
That feels very Tibet.
Yeah, there he is. He's actually if you ever get a chance, I will say the one thing that's really interesting, if you listen to a lot of his songs, listen for a while, he is obsessed with cats. Like he loves cats, and he's very intrigued by them. And
That's
there's
weird.
a lot of lyrics where he'll talk about pussies, and he's talking about cats.
That's so
And it's
funny.
kind of fun. Yeah, he's very like I think he mentions several times in some songs called Pussydom, which is like the kingdom of cats.
What a weird dude.
Yeah, he's a weird dude. Go follow him on social media. You gotta see you gotta go see his creative space. His creative space is fucking bonkers to look into. Like it's like what it looks like. But yeah, he's a cool dude. He's
Yeah.
very open and he's just kind of doing what he does. And I have a lot of respect for what he's done, who he's worked with. Anyways, but yeah,
Wow.
Femtanyl, I'm gonna definitely give that some more look.
Do
I'm
it.
gonna give it some more listen on your behalf and the like. But anyways,
All
folks, I think
right. This was
that's where we're gonna
fun.
end.
This
This
was
was
good.
fun. We haven't done a swap for a while.
Yeah.
If you guys got stuff you want us to listen to, please drop a comment here on the podcast, whatever platform we're on. We'll try to see it. Shoot us DMs, whatever it is, and you can find us on the interwebs. Me,
Yeah.
John, I am on anywhere at Only Play Wizards, and Bailey, where do they find you these days?
So I mentioned it in a past or future episode, but I went through a little bit of a username handle change on Instagram. So what used to have been BCrowVO is now Balefyre, spelled BAILEFYRE.
Mhm.
But in my name, it still says BCrowVO. So if you look that up, you'll find me. But just a little bit of an update. But yeah, that's where you can find me.
Cool.
Balefyre.
All right, folks. You guys all have a good night. Take it easy.
Yeah.
Do enjoy.
Take care.